And some people really hate puns. Okay, bear with me, please. So I got this bookshelf that I've had in the RV for a few years now, and as you can see, it's kind of crooked. Now, the bungee straps, of course, are not helping, but I had to get it over here to the workshop. And what I want to do is practice dados and router work and frame this back up in Daner style, checking square and checking square to make sure that this is solid again. It's kind of a cool little thing. Somebody made this with these dado cuts. What I want to do is make braces to run along the backs of the shelves with dados to straighten it back up. Well, it is freezing cold. I'm going to work on this today as long as I can stand it. Let's see how it goes. Yes, it's cold, but it's not terrible in the workshop. So I'm going to at least make a start and then probably take the stuff inside to do some more close measurements. But here's the idea. I've been wanting to find a use for this wood for quite a while. This is some stuff I've run through the planer from a Euro pallet. And it's just pine, but I think it's going to do okay. Now, I wanted to straighten it out a bit, so I cut one edge off here. And I'm probably going to do that with the rest of these boards. I've got 4 of them. And well, yeah, that's great. Let me grab that lumber again and see what I can do. You might notice that I'm not going to try to refinish this. I may just buff it up a bit, maybe clean it up a bit. I'm not trying to make it pretty. I'm actually just trying to practice dados and try to make this more stable so I can use it in my new bedroom setup at Carol's house. And so nothing fancy, just functional, hopefully. I don't know if I'm going to call it the dungeon or the catacombs or the crypt or what. I'm open to suggestions. Please, in the comments, tell me what you think. But here I am in the basement, and this is my little corner that I'm starting to set up as a little workshop space inside, out of the weather. And I've got the shelf in here now, and just in a kind of a makeshift way, I got a corner clamp here, and it does go check square 90 degrees. I've got that piece of wood that I made into a corner clamp. Observant and consistent viewers might recognize that from a previous video. And if not, then welcome. I'm glad you're here regardless. That also goes to 90. Now, it's a little bit off on the middle shelf. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut the boards for the top and the bottom. And you might be able to see that this has had some weight on it. So there's a bit of a bow here. And so I'm counting on this dado that I want to cut, or rabbit, depending on where you are, where you come from, and whose lingo you picked up, to not only square up these corners, but to also straighten out that board and hopefully strengthen that shelf. Let me show you the boards I've got. I'm planning to run these out to the table, or to the miter saw in the garage here real quick, and cut on some lines that I've put on. They're going to be too long. I'm cutting them oversized to begin with because I want to really set them up for where the dados are going to go. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put an edge slot and slots on the sides to fit inside here below and run even all the way across the top. I don't know if I explained that very well, but the middle ones I think are going to be slotted down the middle with corresponding edge slots for the sides. But I like the edge slots for the top and the bottom. All right, I'm going to go cut some stuff and return. I definitely would not claim that this milling process with this box level from Harbor Freight is perfect, but I gotta say that I'm really pretty happy with how it is turning out. If you watch in the hyperlapse, the fast motion section, you might notice that there's a bit of a bow on one side that, if it's kept to this edge, pretty much gets taken out, so that when I flip it over and cut the other edge to just smooth it up, that it's almost perfect along this edge, that first cut. And I with the equipment that I've got, that's about as straight and true and flat as I'm probably going to get it. And I'm just really happy with how that's working out. Okay, so going to get some measurements. I've got they're plenty long. I can get the ends trimmed off, and it's probably going to be about here on both ends that I'll be taking off. And I'm going to try to cut some slots in them so that I can just kind of fit them to the existing shelves and frame up the sides to be square again. That's the theory anyway. Well, sorry for the furnace sound running in the background here, but I have etched out the cutouts. This is the end of the board. Here's the spot for the dado. So I'm going to pencil this in and then take this back out to the saw and see what we can make of this tonight. Cut off here, dado here, and then the same on the other end, dado there. Now, this is really soft pine, so I'm not sure how well it's going to come out, but it's worth a try. So it's a little less than 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to try to take it down about 3/8 maybe. It's been a while since I've used the router. All right, the furnace is still running. Pardon the noise in the background. I did such a Frankenstein job of cutting this that I didn't even bother recording it because it was kind of ridiculous. But this is as close as I have ever come doing a little broader picture here. This is as close as I have ever come to an exact cut. I'm a little bit over on this edge, but it turns out that the rabbit cut, there's one little spot I need to realign. Turns out that the rabbit cut issue is actually on this end, not on this end. And that is the difference right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's still the pencil line. I'm off basically by a 1/16 of an inch. And so I was going to take it back outside, but instead I'm just going to use the Japanese handsaw and take just that much off, and I think it's going to drop right in. I may need to do a little more edging here, but I think that is going to be exactly what I had in mind. Let's see how that cuts. Okay, just going to take a little bit, just a skosh. It may need a little more refinement, but let's do a fit test. Oh, look at that. Something is catching. No? There it is. Yeah. That is going to work. Gonna be a little couple touch-ups, but that is going to work. I really wanted to have a complete finished video of this project for this week's post, but I have the incredible blessing and pleasure of having family come in from North Carolina. My daughter, her husband, and my grandson are coming in to visit Mom down in Bedford. So I have to get this, I have to just make this the video for this week, and then hopefully I'm going to have some other stuff to show in the days to come after that, because we're going to be down in Bedford enjoying some time together, and I may get a chance to do a couple projects down there. So anyway, basically I want to try to do the same thing 3 more times on this to make that shelf system solid, straight, and square again, and put it to use in the bedroom. Thanks very much for watching. I've added a couple of subscribers lately, and I'm just so grateful to everybody that's been around from the beginning and the latest newcomer. You're all welcome, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for leaving comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about any of the stuff that's going on here or anything that's going on there. Blessed and grateful on Debt End Street, making progress. P.S. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't going flush until I remembered that that's why I'm doing this in the first place, because there's a bow in this. So when I glue and screw this up, I'm going to have to make sure that I get that board flexed out, and it should be a sweet fit. I'm so blessed that is right where it is supposed to be. Thanks again.